So today we are looking at the Manjaro Linux. So latest version is 24.1.0. So this is the latest ISO file and the latest version. So here you can see the boot menu. So I'm going to choose the live boot, which is boot with open source drivers. There is also another option which is boot with proprietary drivers. But I'm going to choose the open source drivers. And also it's based on Arch Linux if you didn't know. And right now I'm using the XFCE desktop environment instead of the GNOME and the KDE Plasma. So I think the XFCE will be better in my point of view. So that's the reason I chose the XFCE desktop environment. You get the three desktop environments like a GNOME, KDE Plasma and XFCE. And also you should be getting the community spins. But you don't get the latest community spins version. So there are older versions of the community spins. I'm going to show you all the downloads and all the available desktop environments. Right now I'm running it on the virtual machine, which is a VMware with the 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5-1240p. So you need to understand that in the virtual machines there will be some minor hiccups here and there, and also like a minor lag. So not in every Linux distro, in some Linux distros, like 2 or 3 Linux distros, but in most of the Linux distros will run without any issues. And also when you compare it to the bare metal, in the bare metal the hardware resources or the system resources will be consuming a bit lesser when compared to the virtual machines. And also the user experience will be way better in the bare metal because it's going to be running on the bare metal installed on the hard disk or SSD. So in this case it's like a virtual machine, so there will be some minor hiccups, but in the Manjaro Linux I don't think there will be some issues. So I want to mention these things, so I want to highlight these things so people doesn't get wrong with this. So I'm going to show you all the changes and all those things. So here is our Manjaro. So here is the code name. I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's like a Xahea 24.1.0. So this is the latest version of the Manjaro Linux. So I'm going to change the display settings first. So in the virtual machine or in the VMware, it automatically changes the display. So here you can see the welcome screen. I'm going to turn it off the launch at start. And let's check the version. So you get the 0.7.2 hello version. And here you should be seeing Xahea. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I'm going to go with like Xahea 24.1.0. So I'm going to close everything and I'm going to open the task manager to see how much of resource it's going to consume. So I didn't open any of the settings or anything. I didn't touch anything. So we should be seeing the base or the boot up resources. So as soon as the boot up, this is all the resources or the process running right now. It's almost like a 309. CPU, about the CPU you need to run like a minute or a 60 seconds in order to see whether the CPU is pretty much stable or not. And about the RAM, it's consuming like a 1.2 GB. So XFCE is already said like it's a lightweight desktop environment, kind of like same thing like LXQT and also LXDE open box. These are all the lightweight desktop environment when compared to the GNOME and KDE Plasma. But in the virtual machines, it's going to consume like a 1.2 GB, but in the bare metal, it's going to be consuming a bit lesser. There will be a bit difference like a 300-400 MB maximum. You don't see a major difference in the resources, and also in the CPU, it's going to be consuming a bit lesser also. So it's going to be performing way better on the bare metal. So that's the reason I'm going to highlight these things. And these are all the resources. So I'm going to keep the task manager in the right side corner so you can see all the changes throughout the video, and you can judge on your own whether to use this specific version or the specific desktop environment of Manjaro Linux or not. So about the task manager, it's 1.5.7. So let's keep the task manager in the right side corner. And about the system requirements and all those things, I'm going to discuss as soon as we open the internet browser. So let's open the browser, which is Firefox. So the latest stable version of a Firefox in the Firefox official website is 131, and also there is a beta version available which is 132. So about the 131 release, I already posted every information in the community page in my YouTube channel. So if you want to go check that up, you can check it up in my community page of YouTube. So let's make it bigger so you can see everything properly. So here is the Firefox. So let's first check the version of the Firefox. So here you get the 130.0. So after this version they release like a 130.1, and also the latest stable version right now is 131. So you get the point lesser update here, or 130 instead of 131, but it's okay. So the ISO file was released like 2 days ago, or maybe for some users it will be like 1 day ago. So here you see, you should be seeing the home page. So this is the home page URL. So this is the home page URL. So before that, let me type in like about support, about support, and hit enter. The browser name is a Firefox, which you already know. The version 130. So the distribution ID is a Manjaro. Some user agent which is unnecessary. So the Linux kernel you get is a 6.10, and also there are a lot of available kernel versions in the Manjaro SourceForge website. I'm going to show you all those things. So let me type in like a Linux kernel and hit enter. Let's go to the official website. So this is the official website, and this is the official URL link. You just need to type in like a www.kernel.org, and the version we got here is a 6.10.11, and the stable version right now is 6.11.1. so this is released on this date, and the mainline version is this one. So if you don't know what is a mainline, what is a stable, and what is a long term, you just need to click on the releases. So it's a RC1, which is a mainline, is a release candidate version. So these are all the stable version. So let's go to the releases. So about the RC, or what is the RC, here is the RC, which is a release candidate. Here you should be getting some information about the RC. And about the mainline version, here is the complete information, what is a mainline, and about the stable version. So here is complete information about the stable version, and about the long term versions. So here is the long terms. So I'm going to show you, we need to go back for that. So the long term versions are right here. So the end of life will be for December 2026 for some kernels, and for some kernels it will be like 2025, which is 5.4, and the 4.19 is here. And in order to see the kernel version, you just need to type in like a uname-r, neofetch, or uname-a, or inxi, or inxi-sv8. So these are all the commands to get the kernel versions. So about the information, here is mainline, stable, and all those things, but you get the stable version itself in the Manjaro Linux here. So you still get the latest version, which is 6.10.11. so it's just a 0.1 update difference. And about the OS theme, you should be seeing matcha C and matcha C on the both side. Instead of dark and light, it says like a matcha C. And about the memory size, it's a 7.7 GB. Disk space is 5.7 GB. So I already mentioned in the beginning, I'm using 8 GB of RAM for my virtual machine. So I have like a good system requirements, but I'm going to show you the system requirements of Manjaro Linux. So this is some browser information which I don't consider as important for the video. And keep an eye on the CPU. So it's having some minor high peak and low peak, but most of the cases it's pretty much stable. And these are all some browser information. So if you want anything, you can just pause the video and read everything. Here is Mesa and LLVM pipe information. And also you should be seeing here, when you scroll it down, you should be seeing the desktop environment as a XFCE, window protocol X11. And here is the Mesa information 24.2.2, and here is my monitor resolution, which is 1920 x 1080, and other are some browser information which you want, you can just pause the video and read everything. So we got all the information. So let's go to the official website. So this is the official link of the Manjaro Linux. So here you should be getting some information. If you don't know about Manjaro Linux, you can get all the information. And here are like a 3 stages, like a testing, unstable, and base. Here is the Manjaro stable. So if you're a normal user, always go with the Manjaro stable instead of testing, unstable, or a base. So if you're a Linux tester, you already know what to choose here. And about the products, you can go click here. About the news, there is literally no information about the specific version. Here is the dark and light theme. About the products, you can get the products here. So about the ISO files, just click on the download. So you get the 3 desktop environments, stable or the official images. And about the community images, which I already mentioned in the beginning, so these are all the community images you get, like a cinnamon, i3 and Xahea. So I downloaded the XFCE. So if you want some information, you click on the more. Here are some information. If you want the minimal ISO file, you can go with the minimal. If you want the full, you can click on the full. And the October one is the latest version. You just need to download it. So if you want to torrent, you can download through the torrent. If you want to download the HTTPS or the ISO file from here, you can download it from there. And if you click on hover over the download, you should be seeing the version here in the left side bottom of the browser. So when I hover over it, it's going to say like XFCE 24.1.0. So it's already available in the official website. So click on download. So it's going to download the ISO file. So Manjaro XFCE 24.1.0. So you should be checking the download or the ISO file as soon as you download started. So this is the version. So you should be seeing the version. If you want to check, you can check the signatures and all those things, like a checksum and all those things. So here you got all the official ISO files. So if you want to go and download from the SourceForge, you just need to download from the SourceForge. Just type in like a SourceForge. So this is the search term you need to type in the search engine, or else just type in like a sourceforge.net and it will take directly to the official website. So it's going to verify your browser whether you are a human or not. So you just need to type in like a Manjaro, just like this, and there will be like a projects here. So just search for the exact project. So this is not the project, and this will be the project, like open source projects. First link or the first one will be the official Manjaro Linux. So here is some information of the Manjaro Linux, like XFCE, KDE, GNOME, and about other community spins. Here are the images. Here are the ISO images. Just click on the files. Here you should be getting like official desktop environments and other the community spins. So you can see the community spins date is like a 2024/6/26, and this is one is like on the October. And about the kernel versions, you should be getting the full chips with the 5.10 LTS, minimal chips with the 5.10. So this is the old thing, so I'm going to show you the latest one. So choose your desktop environment, whatever you're choosing here. So most downloaded will be the XFCE always. So I'm choosing the XFCE. So search for the specific version. If you want the older version, you can go here. But if you want the specific version, you just need to click on the 24.1.0. So this is the latest version. So change the sizes. So you should be just getting the ISO files here. So the first one, you get the Linux kernel 6.10, which I already showed you. So right now we are using the 6.10 kernel version. And if you want to go with the minimal version, you should be getting the 6.10 but the minimal ISO file. But if you want the 6.6 kernel, you can go with the minimal here. And also the version of 6.1 will be available, but you go with the full version, you should be only getting the 6.10. But in the minimal versions, you should be getting 6.10, 6.6 and 6.1. So these are all the kernels you get. So you can click on download and you should be getting the download here. Always check what ISO file you are downloading. So here it said like a XFCE. But if you want to check the GNOME versions, you can go with the GNOME versions or the KDE Plasma versions. It's clearly up to you. So these are all the downloading process of the 24.1.0. So I'm going to show you the system requirements now, because I want to show you every information. I don't want to leave anything behind. So I'm just going to remove this thing, Manjaro. So here you should be already getting the system requirements. So official website already gave the complete information. In some rare cases, there will be not providing the information, but here you should be seeing all the information. So it says devices, it's not the system requirements. So here are some requirements provided from some users. So you just need to wait. And there will be some information like here. 1.5 GB, 300 MB and all those things. So it's 2024. So if you ask me, I'm going to say in order to run like a 70 to 80% of every Linux distro, you need to have like a 4 GB of RAM, 2 GHz dual core processor, and like a 30-40 GB of hard disk, about the monitor 1366 into 768 or like a 1920 into 1080. Even if you have like a low end PC, you can easily run it by choosing the other desktop environment. In order to run like a GNOME KDE Plasma, you need this type of requirements, but in order to run like a low end PC, you can choose the XFCE and other desktop environments. So this is Manjaro. You should be getting only XFCE, which is lightweight desktop environment. There is like community spins. If you want to try it, you can try it. So if you ask me, if you have like a low end PC, it's always good option. Go with the XFCE and try it on your own. Don't trust on anyone on the internet. Just try it on your own. If it's running properly without any issues, try that XFCE desktop environments. And also Manjaro Linux is well-known distribution from past few years, so you can try this distribution. So these were all the system requirements of the Manjaro Linux. Now let's go to the terminal and type in some commands to get some distro information. Let's open the terminal emulator. So you don't get any bunch of wallpapers, but I'm going to show you all the wallpapers. The default wallpaper is still like that. So if you want to change your wallpaper, you need to go to the backgrounds and check the things. So let's change the preference and all the appearance and all those things so we can see everything properly. So it's a transparent background, so I'm going to change it to the colored. Load the presets. I'm going to choose the black and white, and let's type in the commands now. Before that, let's check the about information. You get the 1.1.3. So let's type in the neofetch and hit enter. So it says neofetch command not found. Let's type in. I'm going to install all the neofetch and all those things. inx-sv8. So here is all the information. Host, it says as a Manjaro, kernel version 6.10.11 Manjaro and 64-bit. Compiler GCC version is 14.2.1. And the desktop environment, you should be getting the XFCE 4.18.1. GTK version is 3.24.43. XFWM4 version 4.18.0. LightDM version is 1.32.0. Distro, it says as a Manjaro based on Arch Linux. And here is the other virtual machine information, which I don't consider as important. System RAM 8 GB, available is 7.72, used is 1.35 as you can see. And these are all some other information. So if you want anything, you can read it here. CPU, which I already mentioned, i5 1240p. And what else we have here? So it's not important. The vulnerabilities, which is also not important for the video. Let's continue with the graphics. VMWGFX version is 2.20.0. And display is X11. Server Xorg version 1.21.1.13. And XFWM4 version already mentioned. So right now resolution is 1920 into 1080. Available monitor resolutions are right here. EGL version 1.5. And what else we have? OpenGL version is 4.5. Compact V version is 4.3. Mesa version already mentioned, but I'm going to mention it again, 24.2.2. And here we have the audio information. Here is the ELSA. Jack version is 1.9.22. Pipewire version is 1.2.3. And this is like a network, Bluetooth. I don't have a Bluetooth, so I'm not going to go through all those things. So which is unnecessary for the video. I'm just going to show you some important information. Here is repos, process, and right now process running at 275. Uptime is almost 16 minutes. And what else we have here? Init systemd version is 256. Shell bash version is 5.2.32. And INXI version is 3.3.36. Let me type in cat /etc/issue. Here you should be seeing the user Manjaro, the password is Manjaro. So this is a live boot, so that's the reason you should be seeing all those things. So let me install the neofetch, and I'm going to come back and show you the neofetch. So I installed the neofetch, so let's try the neofetch. So here is some NeoFetch information. Uptime is 21 minutes. Kernel version already mentioned. Host VMware, and shell bash version is already mentioned, which is 5.2.32. Packages 1152 Pacman, and here is the theme and the icons, my CPU, terminal font, and all the information. So it's consuming 1 GB of RAM. So we got all the information. Let's close this and let's check some desktop features. So the network connection, the packages, let me open it, and here is the clipboard, the volume, date and time. Here is power options. So these are all some power options and all the things. So here is our packages. So let's check the some panel information. Here is the panel information, which is 4.18.6. And if you want to change the properties, you can change it to whatever you want here. I'm going to close it. And if you want to add the panel, you can go with the add new item. If you want the panel preference, you can change according to your wish, like a dark mode and all those things. You can change according to your wish. So if you want to change the icons, you can change it. Here are the items. If you want to add the items, you can add it. If you want to remove, you can remove. Here is the I button or the 2.8.3 version of XFCE4 Whisker menu plugin. So we got all the information here. So about the desktop backgrounds, I'm going to show you after the package manager or the app store. So let's make it bigger. Let's check the version. So Pacman, you get the 10.6.0. And what else we have? The preference. If you want to customize your preference, you can customize. I kept everything as a default here. And also the advanced options. Here are the third party. So I kept everything as a default. So there is literally no changes here. So if you want to change the software mode, you can change it. So if you want to refresh the database, if you want to view the history, you can do that. And if you want to install the local packages, you can go with the file manager and install it. So we got all the information. So installed version will be right this. So I'm going to scroll it down. So here you should be seeing the version of the specific packages or applications. Version will be available right here. Instead of opening every application, I'm just going to show you here. So these are all the packages available with the versions. And about the updates, these are all the updates you get, like 2 updates of the Thunderbird and also the Firefox. So you have the stable version already available right here. You just need to update it. So I kept everything as default. So that's the reason we have the older version. But you also should get the Supernova version instead of the Nebula. So here are all the versions. So if you want to install the applications, you can click here. If you want to go with the details, you can go with the details. And if you want to install, you can install it. And dependencies, here are the files. So here are the subfolders or the sub applications you can choose here. If you want, you can search it from here also. So these are all the same things. So I don't want to go through all those things. So let's check the desktop settings. So you get a bunch of wallpapers here. So it's going to take a few seconds to load. So these are all the wallpapers you get. Most of them are from the older versions itself, and some are from the XFCE. So these are all the XFCE wallpapers, and these are from the Manjaro Linux. So we don't see any new wallpapers available right here. And about the folders of the wallpapers, you can choose whatever you want here. So I'm going with the XFCE. If you want to change the color, you can change to other changes available here for the color. So I'm choosing this wallpaper. And about the menus, you should be seeing these menus. About the icons, same thing. If you want to remove the home, file system, trash and all those things, you can remove it. So it's clearly customizable. So about the installer, let me show you the installer. So there is no change in the installer also. You get the same installer. So the code name is Xahea, or I don't know how it's pronounced, which I already mentioned in the beginning. So if you know how it's pronounced, you can do that. So the version is 24.1.0. So plenty of languages available for the installation. Click next. Choose your keyboard. You can choose the first, it's a map, not the keyboard. So choose the map here, or else you can choose the drop down menu here. And the other options is like the system language will be set to American English United States. If you want to change it, you can change it, or else if you want to keep like that, keep it like that. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English United States. If you want to change it, you can change it, or else keep it like that. Click next, choose your keyboard. So if it automatically chooses your keyboard, but if anything is wrong, just choose your keyboard here. Choose your variant for the keyboard. If you want to test your keyboard, you can test here by typing here. Click next, and here you should be choosing the installation destination or the wherever you want to install the Manjaro Linux. So choose your first the drive, and next will be the options. You want the single boot option, go with this option. If you want the dual boot, you can go with it. So if you don't know how to install the Linux distro on the hard drive or the SSD, you need to watch some tutorials. I made like a 3000 videos, but I never made like a specific installation tutorials videos. And also when I made the installation videos, but I really don't remember in which video I install it on the virtual disk or SSD. So that's the reason it's better to watch some tutorials. It's not a complicated thing or anything like that. You just need to watch this part only, and others are completely same in every Linux distro or same in every operating systems. So this option is basically it's going to delete everything in its specific drive, like photos, media files, music, documents, movies, whatever it's available in this specific drive. It's going to delete even the current operating system. If you have like a Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever it is, it's going to delete everything, and it's going to install just the Manjaro Linux in that specific drive. So these are all the options. And this option is like a manual partitioning. You need to create a partition before choosing this option, and the partition will be available right here, and you can install in that specific partition. And also in the boot menu, you should be seeing two operating systems. One will be the current operating system, and another will be the Manjaro Linux 24.1.0 in that boot menu. And there is some issues running right now in the internet, like there is like some issues with the dual boot options. So there is some errors opening, or it's not properly booting. So it's better to go with all those information first, do your research, and if you're satisfied, then go with the dual boot. So it's always a good option. It's a small tip from me. Always run a Linux distro from another SSD and another hard drive, and choose another operating system in the separate drive. Never install two operating systems in the same drive. Even if you have some it's always a good option, go with the two drives instead of one drive, because whatever happens, it's going to ruin both the operating systems. Always choose like two hard drives or two SSDs. Keep like two hard drives or two SSDs if you want to run Linux. Keep that Linux completely in different drive, and other operating system like a Windows or whatever, keep that drive separately. Even if you have some issues, you can just remove the SSD and you can run the other operating systems. So that's the reason. It's just a small tip. It's clearly up to you. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And if you choose the options here, you can choose the encrypt your system. So if you want to encrypt your system, you can provide the password, which should be same in both the boxes. If you don't want, you can just uncheck it. The current drive will be like this. After installation, it will be like this. And about the bootloader location, here are three options. So that's the reason I already mentioned that watch some tutorials and you should be good. Just watch like a 2-minute or 3 minutes videos, so you should be good with the installation. I am not recommending my videos because my videos will be a bit lengthy, like a 30 minutes, 25 minutes, because I will be covering everything in that specific Linux distro video, like a features, desktop backgrounds, latest news, latest kernels, and all those things. Even the app stores, everything will be provided in that video. So that's the reason it's going to make a video lengthy. So instead of I'm recommending my videos, I recommend watch some tutorials of installation. Just the installation video and other things will be already available in my videos. So that was some installation tutorial. After clicking next, you should be creating a user account. So what is your name? It's going to ask all the like a user account creation, which is same in every Linux distro and which is same in every operating system. So choose your name here. So for the sake of the video, I'm choosing my channel name. What name do you want to use to log in? So if you use the numericals, it's going to give you a warning. Your username must start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. So you need to always tick, you should be getting all the tick marks beside the boxes instead of into mark or incorrect sign. So use the alphabets here. So I'm choosing the unboxing for the name, and we got already the tick mark. What is the name of this computer? I'm going to keep it like a 925 Linux. Choose a password to keep your account safe. Provide the password here. So I'm choosing the just like a 125 password. So always give your strong password, and if you don't want to remember, you can just put it in the note taking apps, and you can open whenever you want, and you can type in the password. So if you want to log in automatically without asking for the password, if you want to check it, you can check it, or else uncheck it. It's clearly up to you. So if you want to use the same password for the administrator account, which is same like this one, you can just check it, or else you can uncheck it and provide the different password. It's clearly up to you. So after clicking on next, here you should be seeing the office suite. You should be seeing this option in the Manjaro Linux, because most of the distros doesn't have this office suite. In Endor OS, you should be getting online and also the packages. Like you should be getting the some desktop environment options. In most of the cases, you should be getting only these options other than the office suite. But in the Manjaro, you should get the office suite. In some Endor OS type of Linux distros, you should be getting the desktop environments and also the packages. So here you should be choosing whatever the office suite you want. I'm going to choose the LibreOffice. Click next. Here is a summary of whatever you choose here in the previous installation steps will be right here. So if everything is good, click on next or the install, or else if anything is wrong, just go back and fix all those things. So the installation takes like a 20 to 25 minutes, depends on the PC. If you have like a recommended requirements, it will be very quick. If you have like a low end PC, it's going to take a bit less, a bit more time there. So it depends on the PCs also. So if you have good end PC, it will be a lesser. If you have like a low end PC, you should be having a bit time more consuming. And also if you're a normal user, always go with the stable ISO files. Never go with the unstable beta version, whatever it is, never go with it. Only if you have like a virtual machines, if you want to try it in the virtual machines, you can go with the beta version or unstable versions. But if you don't know what I'm talking, always stay with the stable ISO files. Always download from the official website instead of source code website, because source code website will be providing like unstable version, beta versions. So developers will be uploading the ISO files like a beta versions or unstable versions in the source code, but in the official website they're going to provide only the stable ISO files. So always stick with the stable ISO files. Always download it from the official website. So that was the installation tutorial, because I need to make another video, so that's the reason I'm not going to install it. So what else we have left here is the pre-installed applications you get from the Manjaro Linux. So you get this much of pre-installed applications. I don't think it's called like bloatware or anything like that, because most of them from the XFCE desktop environment, and other are from the Manjaro Linux. So most of them are completely important. So it's clearly up to you to call it like a bloatware. For some reasons, for some people you can call it like a bloatware, but for some people it's like a useful application, so it's not a bloatware for some users. So final thing is left is a stress test, which is opening a bunch of applications to see whether the distro will handle day-to-day task, because a normal user will be opening like a 4 or 5 applications at once. So I'm going to open a few applications to see whether there will be some lag or anything like that. So I'm opening like a internet and all those things, like a browsers, Thunderbird and all those things. So there are not heavy resource consuming applications here. For example, like a Blender, GIMP, Krita, Inkscape. So if we had those type of applications, we can get all the information properly. But we still have the browser, Thunderbird, and also some applications which consumes a bit of resources. So we can see whether the there will be like a high resource consumption, or maybe any lag or any crashes, like a not responding and all those things signs. So right now I didn't face any issues. Everything is running smoothly without any issues. So that's a good work. And also this is a stable version, so you shouldn't be getting any of those things. So let's check the task manager. Let's see how much of resource it's consuming. And you should be seeing a high graph, because we opened all the applications at once. We didn't give any time, or we didn't have any delay here. So that's the reason you should be seeing a high peak here. But after opening all the applications, every application is open now, and you should be seeing a stable graph after a few seconds. and it's consuming like a 2.3 GB. So it's a XFCE desktop environment. You already know XFCE desktop environment will consume lesser resources. So it's running smoothly without issues. So if you run the default application on your bare metal or on your PC, it's going to be consuming this much of resources, and it will be consuming a bit lesser resources because I'm running it on the virtual machine. So right now the XFCE desktop environment, I don't face any issues. I didn't face any issues. Not even a single lag, any crashes or any pop-ups like a warning or anything like that. I didn't face any of the issues. Everything is running smoothly without any issues. So this is how it's running. Let me show you after switching the applications. So everything is opening instantly. And also keep in mind that I have like a more than enough system requirements, so everything is opening instantly. Because of that, I have like a 8 GB of RAM, so everything is working without any flaw. So you need to understand these common things and judge it on your own whether to use this distribution or not. So even if you use this distribution, choose the specific desktop environment according to your PC. Never go with like a, if you have like a low end PC, never go with like a KDE Plasma or GNOME. Always try with like a XFCE. You get the same applications or same versions of the applications, and also the kernel also you should be getting same thing. So you can get all this information and decide, and you can judge on your own. So about the applications, we already saw all the applications versions in the Pacman or in the App Store. So you get the 115 for the Thunderbird, and the toolbox for the some of the informations. You just need to click on the numbers to get some information. About the browser, we get the 130, but you can update it to the latest version. Here are the versions of the applications. So there is also a GIMP version here. So about the XFCE, here is the complete information. I already showed everything in the beginning, so I don't think I left anything here. So the mouse pad, you get the 0.6.2. So this is how it performed in my PC or in the virtual machine. Everything was working fine without any issues. Here are all the options like a power manager and all those things. So I kept everything as default, which I already mentioned in the beginning. So if you want to customize, you can go with anything you want, like a tweaks and all those things. So I didn't change anything. I kept everything as default. I didn't even update anything. So I just installed like a NeoFetch. Other than that, I didn't install any of the applications. So this is how it performed without any issues. So about the mouse and touchpad, everything is same. So these are all the things which I already showed. So I'm going to end the video here. So at the end of the video, this is how it's consuming the system resources. Other than that, it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use it or not. So I'll be posting another video because I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And there will be some gap after posting this video. There will be some like a 3-4 hours of gap because I need to edit and I need to upload all those things on my own. So that's the reason I need like a 3 hours of gap. So if you don't want to watch my channel continuously for the second video, you just need to subscribe and turn on the notification. As soon as the video is available or a video is posted, you should be seeing the notification and you can watch that video. So let me show you the logout screen. I already showed you the live credentials, which is username is Manjaro and the password is also the Manjaro. So this is the sessions you should be getting, sessions, language, and all those things, and also the accessibility. So the password is like a Manjaro for the live boot. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.